Hello lovelies, welcome to our channel Universal Movies. Today, I'm going to explain a comedy and horror film called Double Date. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. Jim is waiting at the bar for his girlfriend when Alex, his best friend, spots him from the other side of the place and goes over to him. Knowing that he's waiting for his girlfriend, Alex tells Jim that his girlfriend has been cheating on him the whole time, and sure enough, Jim's girlfriend breaks up with him through text just a few seconds after. Learning that Jim is still a virgin his whole life, Alex promises him that he'll get him laid before he turns 30. Trying to look for a lady that he can match Jim with, Alex spots a recently widowed woman crying alone by the bar and walks up to her, inviting her to talk to Jim even though she's still bawling. Knowing that he won't get anywhere with the woman, Jim just proceeds to bring her home, trying his best to drag her all the way to her house. However, a police officer spots Jim and thinks that he's doing something inappropriate to the drunken woman, so he ends up spending a night in jail until he's proven innocent. The next day, Jim hangs out with Alex once more, who's still eager to help him graduate from being a virgin. A little while later, their friend, Laura, arrives, inviting them to her boyfriend's band show. A man then buys drugs from Laura, which freaks Jim out, so he stands up to leave. But suddenly, two women come inside and walk to the bar. Jim feels immediate attraction towards the two because of their beauty, and oddly enough, they seem to be interested in him, too. As they stare at him the whole time, Alex hypes Jim up, telling him that it's finally his time, and urges him to talk to the two women. After a quick pep talk and instruction, Jim goes up to the women, Lulu and Kitty, who are sisters. He tries to talk to them but fails to charm them, so Alex texts him pickup lines to help. However, because Alex keeps misspelling the words, Jim ends up saying inappropriate things. Nonetheless, Jim is able to invite the two for a night out in London. But, afterward, Jim's nerves get the best of him, refusing to go because he thinks that the two were just making fun of him and that there's no way that attractive women like them would like him. But Alex tells Jim to stop questioning himself and advises him to grab the opportunity in front of him. Meanwhile, Kitty trains boxing at home while Lulu watches her from the bathtub, feeling worried about what they'll do to Jim. As it turns out, the sisters have been killing men for a sacrificial ritual to revive their dead father, and Jim, a male virgin, is the last piece they need to complete it. The four get ready for their night out, and the girls make sure to bring a syringe, a bottle of chloroform, and a knife for Jim, who they intentionally approach after finding his profile in a dating site for virgins. At a bar, Jim and Alex greet the ladies before getting them something to drink. But, upon learning that Lulu and Kitty don't drink alcohol, Alex takes Jim to the bathroom and tells him that nobody would sleep with him while sober. In a desperate attempt to continue his plans for the night, Alex takes the sisters to watch Laura's boyfriend play with his band, which turns out to be a lame showcase. However, the real reason why Alex went there is to get drugs from Laura, which he slips into their drinks. When he comes over to bring the drinks, Alex winks at Jim, who immediately understands what's going on. Jim then stops Lulu from drinking the juice and accidentally drops the glass, making Kitty realize what Alex is up to. With another failure, Alex brings them to a raving club, where he tries to score with Kitty and ends up humiliating himself when she calls him ugly. Upset, Alex walks away from Kitty but not without splashing his drink on her. Angry at what he did, Kitty walks to the bathroom and plans to take out Alex, but when she returns to the dance floor, she sees him dancing on the stage. She then tries to make him come down, but Alex is too wasted to even understand her. On the other hand, Lulu and Jim are having an averagely peaceful moment together until Jim receives a text from his mother, reminding him about a birthday dinner he needs to attend. Lulu tries and fails to make Jim stay, so she offers to drive him to wherever he's going instead and implies she's concerned about him since he's been drinking. When they get home, Jim doesn't feel too good, remembering that Alex slipped something in their own drinks, too. But he does his best to act normal when his family greets him at home, and Lulu learns that the birthday dinner is for him. For Jim's birthday gift, his father gives him his grandmother's old pocket knife, which he slips into his pocket. Although she feels awkward at first, Lulu starts to enjoy her time with Jim's family and even ends up wearing a t-shirt of young Jim's face. She even happily watches them perform a family song that they made about themselves. But midway through the song, the drugs start to creep back up on Jim's system, and he ends up losing his senses. So, Lulu slaps him to get his bearings back and reminds him that they need to go back to the club. On that note, they bid farewell to Jim's family. Once back at the club, Lulu spots what Kitty's trying to do and stops her, reminding her of their original plan to take Jim. They urge him to go home with them, but he doesn't want to leave Alex behind. So, when Alex comes over to them, they all go home together. On their way to the sister's place, the four get into a car accident. Alex tries to check on the car, but he isn't knowledgeable enough about vehicles to be able to fix it. Meanwhile, Jim and Lulu have their own conversation and confess that they both like each other, but Lulu knows it won't work between them because of what they're trying to achieve. Finding an alternate plan, Alex gets them to walk over to his dad's place so they can borrow his car, but they come inside for a little while. Kitty spots Lulu seemingly getting too attached with Jim, even clinging on to his arm, so she takes her sister to the bathroom. Lulu pleads for Kitty to let Jim go and just find another victim, but Kitty wants to stick to the plan because they're so close to succeeding. Meanwhile, Jim and Alex excuse themselves to go to a nearby convenience store as Alex's dad turns on the TV to watch the news. He comes across a news segment detailing the crime of the man-eaters, which are Lulu and Kitty. Alex's father sees the enhanced footage showing the criminals and doesn't get it at first, but the moment the sisters come out of the bathroom and Kitty talks about it herself, he realizes the danger he and the boys are in. The old man struggles against Kitty as she stops him from calling the cops, so Kitty shouts for Lulu to help her out. Lulu then grabs a nearby lamp and bashes his head, but he's still not going down. Kitty wants to kill Alex's dad, but Lulu rebuts, saying that they shouldn't kill him because Jim and Alex are coming back soon. So, in the end, they just render him unconscious using chloroform. When Alex and Jim get back, Kitty and Lulu deceive Alex, saying that his dad just passed out randomly. Alex then tells them that they should just leave, saying that it's normal for his dad to just pass out a lot. But before he does, Alex kisses his dad goodnight, making Kitty envious as she misses her deceased father. They drive to the lady's house, where Kitty immediately invites Alex up to her room. She orders Alex to turn around and start undressing, pretending that she's going to sleep with him. Alex says that he likes Kitty, but when he turns around, he sees that she's about to stab him. Surprised, Alex quickly runs away, but Kitty chases after him. Alex goes inside a room and hides, able to bash a piece of wood on Kitty's head after catching her off guard. Kitty then drops the knife, so the two engage in a fist fight. As they continue hitting each other, Alex manages to pin Kitty on the wall by the neck to try and choke her. However, she smashes 2 bottles on his head, making him let go. They then wrestle against each other on the ground before Kitty starts to kiss him, but it's all a ruse to attack his private parts, making him scream in pain. Kitty is already exhausted and struggles to stand up, so Alex drops a bookcase on her and starts jumping on it. But, it's still not enough to get her down, for she gets up moments later while Alex passes out from blood loss and injuries. At the same time, Lulu confesses to Jim about their crimes, admitting that they've already killed 4 men and that he, a virgin, is the final sacrifice to bring their dead father back alive. She also admits that they found him on the virgin dating website, adding that she thinks that what they're doing won't work, and her sister is just crazy. She tells Jim to just run away, but he doesn't want to leave Alex. Lulu says that it's probably too late for him, so he should just try to save himself. Then, while halfway out the door, Jim turns back and refuses to run away, but he's immediately knocked unconscious when Kitty hits him with a shovel from behind. Down at the ritual room, Jim awakens and finds himself gagged and tied to a chair, surrounded by the sisters' other victims. Meanwhile, Lulu brings over her deceased father's body in a wheelchair. Jim struggles in his position, so he can only watch as the women continue the ritual, chanting the spell with their eyes closed. Suddenly, Jim remembers the knife in his pocket. While the chanting continues, he tries to free himself by cutting the tape. Then, after the ritual, the 3 wait for a while to see what will happen. At first, it seems like the ritual has failed, making Kitty cry. However, their father eventually starts to come back alive. Delighted, Kitty comes up to her father and hands him the knife, telling him that she did everything he taught her and that the last step is to make the virgin bleed. While the reanimated corpse struggles to walk over to Jim with a knife, Jim hurries to cut himself loose. Meanwhile, Lulu protests and shouts for her father to stop, making Kitty angry and tackling her to the ground. Then, all of a sudden, Alex comes rushing inside to help Jim, but he ends up passing out again. As Jim struggles against the corpse, he successfully breaks off its hand and sticks the knife on its head. So, Kitty takes the situation into her own hands by throwing the knife at Jim. Kitty shouts in victory before rushing over to Jim to finish him off, but Lulu comes up from behind and knocks her out with a shovel. After that deadly night, Lulu and Jim support a badly injured Alex outside. Then, when they see that the police start to arrive, Jim knows that it'll be the last time he'll ever see Lulu and kisses her before she hands herself to the cops. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.